Well, with less than a year to go until the start of the 2012 Paralympic Games, children in Stoke have been given a unique opportunity to have a go at disabled sports.
Yes, Project Spitfire is funded by the lottery and aims to bring together people of all abilities to experience sports that will be played at next year's Games. Our reporter Ashley Cox, who played wheelchair basketball for Birmingham Black Cats, went along to take a look.
Celebrating sporting success. But what's different for these able-bodied children is that they've achieved it playing disabled sport. Project Spitfire is the first scheme of its kind in the country promoting disabled sports and highlighting the skills of those who play them. There are 4 sports on offer: wheelchair basketball, goalball, seated volleyball and new age curling.
It's changed my perception of how disabled people can take place in sporting events in the Paralympics, and it just shows how skilled disabled people must be able to play these games.
The project has been organised by Stoke-on-Trent City Council and the Stoke Spitfire wheelchair basketball team.
Very good.
Their coach believes these sessions are important to help break down barriers.
Not all kids who are non-disabled are aware of how positive disabled sport can be. It's really disability awareness raising through using sport, which is going to be used in the Paralympics.
£23,000 of lottery funding will be spent to keep the project running for 5 years. Their representatives also got in on the action.
It's a great use of lottery money because it's showing how people can work together, see new parts of society and get really involved in what's a great sporting occasion.
I embrace my disability because it's part of who I am, and I'm proud of who I am. It's part of my makeup and my characteristics. So, yeah, it is important. I think that disability is embraced and celebrated in a lot of ways.
Brilliant. Well, earlier, Ashley joined us in the studio to tell us more about the scheme, and we started by asking him what he thought of the project.
Well, going out and shooting with the guys at Stoke Spitfire's basketball club was really good because you can see the difference in abilities with the kids, even though they'd only been in the chair for 10 minutes. They was getting the gist of pushing it around. And there was like comical moments where you can have a laugh and have a smile with the kids. One of the girls was a great comment that she said to me. She said, I'd always wanted to be in a wheelchair. And I kind of thought, oh, really? And she said, yeah, I just love the way it rolls. And it was just like, you know, it's really good that they can see things like that because in experiences, a lot of kids have preconceptions about disability and it's kind of a scary factor. But
what's your experience, Ashley, of getting involved into sport? How inclusive is it for people in wheelchairs?
Well, I mean, I've coached wheelchair basketball and I used to work within the government to do sporting initiatives. And it is quite hard to set up a scheme, really. I mean, I'm setting up a scheme in Plymouth at the moment for a wheelchair basketball team. And to find facilities is, you know, a nightmare in terms of accessible for everybody because although you've got people in different basketball chairs, you've also got people with different types of disabilities, so it's kind of hard to cater for everyone, really. But.
And what about the thought of getting involved as well? I mean, how inclusive is the culture, I suppose?
It's changed. It's changed over the last couple of years. When I first started, it was quite a scary factor. You didn't really get involved in sport because, you know, there just wasn't that rate of inclusion to kind of say, oh, well, let's go as a group of mates and do it. Because really, as a disabled person, in my experiences, I was on my own. There wasn't anybody else, you know, with me. Whereas usually in sport, you've got a group of mates who play football or, you know, you've got somebody there. So.
And briefly, what about this scheme? It's happening in Stoke-on-Trent. Would you like to see it rolled out across the whole country?
I would. I'd be wary because obviously the funding going there wouldn't always work in, you know, every place in the country, but this one's definitely great. I mean, £23,000 worth of money to go to a 5-year scheme where people can experience disabled sport, and most of them for the first time is a great thing, I think.
OK, Ashley, yeah, thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Ashley Cox talking to us earlier. Right then, the national and international news is a few moments away, so let's take a look at